Oh, baby. It's Monday nights. I'm feeling good. It feels like fall here in North Carolina. I'm sitting over here with Jay Derrell. We've got a killer show for you guys tonight. We've got Jay Derrell, a real black man, weighing in on the three white men who weighed in on the Tupac murder. But Jay Derrell, he came on the team because he was going to be the face against me all the time. And he's like, yo, I don't care what you put on the list that we're talking about tonight. I'm reacting to your show on Friday, which was a banger, by the way. But we're going to get his take on that. We also got Phoenix, the city of felons. We've got an emotional support alligator trying to get into a baseball game. And Philadelphia fights back. All this and more on tonight's Fire to Stop Monday Uncuffed with comedians Derrell White, and Eric Tansey. We'll see you in a minute.
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on
This is
Sunday.
about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
It's a bullshit.
Oh, unmute your mic.
It's unmuted?
Yeah.
It's muted?
It's muted.
Ow.
Well, now it's not.
Oh.
Well, now it is.
Is it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Shit. Okay. All right. I ain't do nothing. Y'all, you try to mute a brother. That's what it is. You ain't want a black man opinion on that bullshit y'all did Friday.
Where were you?
You ain't invite me?
You had school.
Bullshit.
You said you had college on Fridays.
No, I didn't.
I thought you had school.
Nah, see, you thought, motherfucker. I'm glad you don't get paid to think. You'll be a broke motherfucker.
Oh.
Anyway, I saw that bullshit. You wearing a blue bandana tied up. You had it tied up. Man, you didn't
Did I do it right?
No, that's a sissy way you had it done. It won't. That shit. You ain't look no gangster than anything, man. A little kid to walk up and slap you in the face. You look like hard. You weren't looking hard. You can't toot your lips up with a bandana tied around your head, looking like you was up. Dude. No. And I was like, why he got on a bandana? And then I heard a little bit piss me off talking about Tupac, one of the greatest rappers to ever rap.
You're going to have to convince me otherwise, dude, because all the evidence I saw from that show, he looks like a little bitch.
I mean, he's a small dude. He ain't that big. His frame, hell, probably soaking wet. He like 150 pounds. He probably about 5'5", 5'6". He's not a big dude. You know, everybody talking about, he got a washboard stomach. He's skinny. He's a bony dude. Motherfucker didn't eat a lot. He smoked a lot, drank a lot, but he was a small dude. And he won't always gangster either. That's the thing. He won't always gangster. This motherfucker used to write poetry.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm saying? He went to the School of Arts up in Maryland. So
I know, like, the whole thing made me very disappointed in Tupac.
I mean,
I had a different vision of Tupac. I thought he was some kind of hard Compton, badass gangster, and he's not. He's from New York. Right, he's in Baltimore.
He's from the East Coast, but you know
his parents were garbage.
You know what they saying? You know what they say? They say you are who you hang around. Yeah, birds of a feather flock together. When you hang around thugs, you're gonna be considered a thug. So he's gonna, and as he,
I don't know, I don't see. Did Lil Wayne talk that much shit?
I met Lil Wayne.
Does he talk that much shit?
Lil Wayne started. When
he's real big into gangs, right? He's real. He's blood. He wears red everywhere all the time.
He is, but
and every song he mentions.
But see, he's cop friendly.
He is, yeah.
He's very cop friendly. You know why? Because a cop saved his life.
Yeah, I've heard that story on ESPN.
Saved his life, and he said, he for the pro. He's pro police.
But Lil Wayne's little. He's not going around bitch slapping people and sucker punching them and getting his ass shot.
But see, you got to look at. He's not out in California. His was Louisiana.
He was.
He's in Louisiana.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Louisiana rapper. You know, now
they have
hoods
in Louisiana.
They have hood. I mean, Master P. You know, you got
really?
Yeah,
I didn't know any of that.
Oh yeah, but see, the California rappers, Snoop Dogg and all that, because see, Snoop and Tupac.
Man, did you see that new thing with Snoop Dogg wearing all pink and like a tutu and doing like some kind of weird?
Yeah, it's all about money. He don't give
what
a
a
shit.
sellout.
He don't care. He stay high all the time. He don't care. When I saw him doing a food show with Martha Stewart,
You think he hooked up with Martha Stewart?
he probably did.
Oh,
He
I
probably
would.
did. I mean, she hot for 80 years old.
For sure. Bro, and I bet you she'd make you the best pancakes when you woke up.
Man, what you talking about? Probably wash your balls and everything.
Oh, she'd do it all.
And we see her with her teeth in. Can you imagine if she take them teeth out?
You don't think those are real teeth?
Hell no. She 80 years old. She ain't got them white, not unless she done did that what's them damn things that you them
Yeah, I'm
partials?
sure she does. She's a millionaire.
Yeah, and they all crispy white. No,
Yeah.
them teeth just as pearly white. Hell no. You know she smoked weed. Weed is like cigarette. If your teeth white,
Right.
and you smoke cigarette, you're gonna have that nicotine,
Yeah.
that tar. You can do the
Maybe she does the
you know,
gummies.
ain't no telling what she do, Martha Stewart. I mean, she's a cook. You know, she do cooking. She probably be cooking up in brownies and stuff.
Yeah, I bet. I never even thought about it. That's probably why. That's probably why Snoop likes her so much. But you know, like Snoop Dogg kind of comes across as like I mean,
Snoop is Snoop. He don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Not.
After I'm gonna tell you where Snoop changed his life.
Okay.
Is when he beat that murder. Because he was looking at a murder charge.
Did he murder somebody?
Again, just like with the Tupac situation. Snoop had the entourage. He's in a gang. So, of course, you can get other guys to, do stuff for you.
Take the fall
for you. But he beat it. In a court of law, he beat the rap. And when he beat the rap, he came out and he rapped about it. Murder was the case that they gave me. And then he sung about it and rapped about it. Of course, he didn't rap and say, I don't want to shot the motherfucker or anything like that. He didn't do that. But he put a whole album out about his situation and stuff. And he made a lot of money. Of course, he got signed with Death Row Records and with Dre and all that. And he just blew up. But that was, now he didn't stop smoking weed. He was big weed head, but he changed his life as far as that he pulled out and stopped doing certain things that gang members will do. Because now he's raising up. He was rising up.
He was right there when Tupac. I mean, he was Snoop Dogg was relevant when Tupac got killed.
Oh yeah.
They were all right there.
Yeah, but see the thing
they were all signed to Death Row Records.
See the thing is, you got to think Tupac Records was basically like East Coast Records. All his records prior to Death Row, before he went and signed up with Suge and Dr. Dre,
right?
You listen to the sound, the lyrics, everything was good. He had a song called Brenda Got a Baby. He talked about single mothers out there on welfare and all this stuff. He even got songs like Dear Mama, talking about his mom. His mom was a Black Panther, and all this and that. He talked about her being a single mom, raising 2 kids, and all this and that. So a lot of his songs were meaningful and they were good. A lot of people liked it. But then again, when people that you think is your friend,
he got shot.
Yeah,
he got shot in New York,
right? But see, when he started beefing
and robbed with $30,000. Now let's go to that one because I think that he was talking shit when he got shot.
Yeah,
and that's how he had 30,000 cash.
That's how it all exactly. That's how it all boils down. It all boils down to that type of life.
Yeah,
they knew he was going to be around, have an entourage around him.
Right.
A guy who can fight or you don't fuck with, and he don't walk around with 20 dudes with him, then he don't get bothered. It's that one that have about 20 motherfuckers with him that surrounding him that can't fight. Like you said, a little bitch. Yeah. And he paying them. He paying them.
He's like the modern day Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Tekashi is a little worse. He's worse. A lot of people don't like that motherfucker. His music, I can't tell you not one song he got.
It's all mumble.
I can sit here and recite off Tupac's music. You see what I'm saying? Tupac wasn't really a bad guy. Like I said, I think it's just the situation, the people that you with, that you hang around, and you know what I'm saying. And I really believe, because he was a smart guy. If you listen, you can pull out a vault of stuff and hear him talk and listen. And they even got a book where he wrote all this poetry. Every time he got locked up or when he was in school, he kept a diary of poetry. And you'd be like, dang.
He wrote Jada Pinkett a poem.
Right. And you'd be like, how many gangsters, motherfuckers out there, drug dealers,
Don't you think it's crazy that like, how does
that?
a dude whose mom is a crackhead who didn't marry, but was long-term relationship with a dude who killed 2 cops and a security guard. How does he end up getting to go to a school with Jada Pinkett and they go from being drug dealers to being pretty famous people? How many famous people from your high school?
One, he was smart in school. He was smart. 2, it's called other family members. Mama didn't raise him. I mean, mama was mama, but other
politics of the Black Panther Party. Is that what you're saying?
No, just other family members. That's like even in Raleigh, how the school system was. We have Sanderson, Athens Drive. We got Inlow and all that. Your ass can live Southeast Raleigh. You can live over there by Southeast Raleigh High School, but just because you have a family member that live in Broughton area, you can give them your address and say, hey, this is where you live at.
That's what he did.
And that's how he got up in there.
But I'm saying it's like Jada Pinkett and Tupac both went to the same school at the same time, and they both became famous. I mean, I think that what are the odds? Like, is that just a school that they plucked?
It was a school of the arts. School of the arts.
Do we have any school of the arts around here?
Yeah, we got North Carolina.
Did anybody famous go there?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett famous?
Yeah.
Tupac famous?
Well, I put it this way: a girl I know from my hometown, from Clayton here, she went there and she's on soap operas. She do soap operas. She's famous.
But she ain't Tupac famous?
No, because she don't do the shit Tupac do. You see what I'm saying? Do you watch soap operas? Hell no. Well, you say not anymore, but see, that's what I'm saying. Me, do I watch it? Hell no.
I watch it with my mom.
I know she's famous from that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Tupac raps.
Right.
Again, it's about what he rapped about. See, he was a rapper in the late.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what did he
90s,
do for humanity? Like, he just seems like he was all in it for himself all the time.
Well, majority of those guys are like that.
That's true. Well, I mean, I don't know. I like to think of
a lot of time, a lot of them will give back. Here's my thing. If you can't give back to your community, your country, or whatever, without trying to seek recognition,
right?
That's bullshit.
Right.
You ain't doing it for that. You're doing it for self. You're doing it for that self-gratification.
Like, how many people killed other people because they listened to Tupac's music?
I don't think not too many. Nah,
really?
Not with him. Nah, because he didn't talk about he wasn't encouraging other people to kill motherfuckers. I put it that way. And you look at, like I said, you listen to his song. It's two Tupacs. Right. You got the East Coast one where he, like I said, he did a song called Brenda Got a Baby.
Right.
And he basically addressed all the single mothers. This was a time when single mothers weren't getting help from the government, and they were struggling. They were single parents out there. They couldn't get the housing. Section 8. That's when all the, Section 8 housing. And that's when the food stamps and all that stuff. And he was talking about, a lot of these deadbeat dads.
I
and
understand
stuff like
that, but I mean, like, he really quick. I mean, dude, every picture is him giving the middle finger. He's got Thug Life tattooed across his belly. He freaking was involved in a gang rape, whether he did it or he didn't. And I just like it that he's involved in all these things, but he didn't do it, because every documentary wants to paint this dude like he's some kind of like legend, and he's not. He's not.
Well, see, that's the thing.
When you read about him, when you really study about the shit that he does, he's not that guy.
I'll give you a great example that we're dealing with now. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby. I don't give
Bill Cosby doesn't have a history of violence.
No,
and all this other shit.
Exactly. He don't.
But Tupac does.
No. We don't know what he had behind closed doors at his house. He could be beating the shit out of Camille. We don't know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look at all the women that done came out and said, all the accused Bill of drugging him and having sex with him.
Right.
Now, the drugs part, I don't believe he might have drugged all of them unwillingly. I think some of them might have, snorted some cocaine or whatever with them, might have smoked some weed, and he might have been like, that ain't gonna do it, and bloop, pop some pills in there to get them all sleepy and fuck them. I guarantee he slept with all of them.
Yeah.
Now, see, here's my thing. Bill Cosby, you're married with 5 children, and you out there fucking other women, all these other women. A lot of people be like, man, there ain't no way his wife didn't know. Man, his wife probably knew, but shit, he fucking Bill Cosby.
Right.
He was a big time black man in the 60s, back in the Jim Crow and back in them days. Right. And he, his shit didn't stink. He was on I Spy. He had the Bill Cosby Kids Show. This is all before the Huxtable. Heathcliff Huxtable came out, and he was saying that he could do no wrong. But when all this shit came out, everybody was like, what? Hold up. But he was here. And then they started taking all these honorary degrees and taking all this shit back that they gave him because they put him so high on a pedestal, because all this shit finally came out. He been putting it in your face all these years. He been saying it in his comedy act, but it had to take a comedian to remind everybody, hey, Bill Cosby motherfucker was out there drugging bitches, y'all ain't saying nothing about it. And then that one lady finally, she opened up about the most recent one that he did in 2004, 2005, something like that. And then that's when the gates of hell just opened up and everybody, all them women from back in 1965, 70, 75 came out. Yeah, Bill Cosby, he's sexy, he raped me and this and that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So as a comedian, me, 1, as a black man. 2, as a comedian, just like him. 3, with family, kids, was married, all that stuff. Yeah. 4, people look at me and know me as a good guy and everything.
Right.
Now, here's my thing. You know me all that good, and then I go out and do some shit like Bill Cosby. You'll be like, everything I did before that you knew me of would be great, would go down in shit. You'll be like, that motherfucker. He done ate dinner over here, met my mom, fell in love with my mom, and fell in love with her chicken. And this motherfucker, he played with my kids. God damn. He over there fucking all these women and drugging them women, Well,
I'd be disappointed in you if you were out raping women.
But see, that's what I'm saying. The same thing with Tupac. Tupac was not a bad guy.
What?
He was not.
Show me one thing that he did that makes him not a bad guy. Show me some evidence.
Remember what I said.
He did good.
Remember what I said.
I don't give a shit if he can write good music.
He was a good guy and a bad guy.
No,
he was good. And
when he was East Coast is when he got those sexual assault allegations. He was East Coast when he got that. Okay. He did 8 months for that, and Suge Knight bonded him out only on the preface that he did three albums for Death Row Records, and then he really became a piece of shit. Right, yeah, right. But I mean, the whole rape thing, and of course, if you look at all of the things in its totality, he has an excuse for everything.
Shit. So you have an excuse to not want to go to jail either, wouldn't you?
Well, sure, but I mean, he apologizes for the gang rape, but it wasn't him. I didn't rape her.
But see,
I called her up for a BJ and my 14 friends.
But see,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you.
When the 6-year-old kid gets shot, and that's where I draw the line. Like, I'm telling you right now, whether it was his bullet, well, it was his bullet. It was his gun. Yeah. No dispute that. Right. And his brother, took the fall for it. I think that his brother just took the fall for it. And they didn't have any evidence, and his brother got acquitted and didn't do any time. Right. And they settled out in civil court for $300,000. I think to this day that fucking Tupac, being the little bitch that he is, pulling out a gun on every motherfucker he throws hands with, he pulls that gun out and he shoots that 6-year-old. Here's the thing. Even if he didn't do it, we know his gun did it. Right. Even if we go with his story.
He took responsibility for it, and he paid.
Sure.
He did the civil thing.
If it was, I don't think he took responsibility because I think he did it. And I think if you take responsibility, you'd be like, I fucking did it, and I feel terrible about it. But neither here nor there, we'll never be able to prove it.
Of course, he's not going to do that.
I know he's not going to do that. But my point being is, if you're involved in something like that, and a 6-year-old dies because of your negligence, bro, I would be so heartbroken that I would go on a crusade across America to stop all the gang violence, to stop it all.
You know good and damn well he was not going to do that.
That's what makes him a piece of shit. Like, I cannot imagine. I have a 6-year-old child. If a drunk driver hits my 6-year-old child, I will murder his family. I will end his entire fucking bloodline.
Why?
because he
did.
yeah, because he killed my kid.
But that was him. That wasn't
he'll
folks'
suffer.
decision.
He will suffer knowing that his fucking family perished too. I'm telling you right now, I cannot fathom losing one of my children or having one of my children harmed in a egregious way like that. Okay. I swear to God, if Tupac would have killed my 6-year-old, he would not have been safe in any way.
And you know they settled out of court.
Hundreds. There's no money in the world.
$300,000.
There's no. And I would have taken that $300,000 and I'd have paid a motherfucker to go whack.
You know, they probably had to pay tax on that $300,000. So
they
it was
probably
more like
did.
$175.
But like, I can't imagine taking somebody else's child's life and then just continue on with the same behavior.
Oh, it got worse.
It did get. It
got
did
worse.
That's why I think Tupac's a piece of shit.
I mean, I look at it like this. I like Tupac as the artist. I liked his music. As the person, I didn't know that motherfucker.
Right.
You know, I didn't hang out with him. I didn't follow him. Right. So therefore, the things
what if he had an Instagram or a Twitter? What do you think it would have been like?
Oh shit, he'd have millions of followers.
What do you think he'd been saying on Twitter?
Oh, he'd be talking shit. He would. He'd be talking shit. But see, that's what I said. Where do we separate the artist from the man? Okay. You see what I'm saying? Again, Bill Cosby, the comedian, genius. As a man, because of all the shit he was accused and he said he did and all this stuff, he's a piece of shit to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
As a comedian, yeah, I would watch and laugh
that's my only
shit.
point. Like I got
him back there.
I don't know why kids would walk around with Tupac Shakur all over their shirt, and he's like this some kind of symbol of legendary. Like, what did he do for the black community?
He was
nothing.
No, he was a
but he held the black people down by making black people look even worse by engaging in all of this bullshit. The gang life. Listen,
like I said, I like his music, but they ain't gonna make me go out there and shoot guns, bust caps in people's asses just for and this and that. Come on now.
You know these young inner city gang member kids, that's their anthem.
Actually, it's rappers out there rougher than they are.
Oh,
rougher than him that they follow.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But not back then.
But you got to think this was the 90s. He was the 90s. There are kids today in 2023 that don't even know who the fuck Tupac is. And when they do find out, oh, that old motherfucker, he don't know about it. He ain't better than Tekashi 6ix9ine. What? Yeah, you know, they think little Yachty and little Mert, little Dirk and all these guys are better than Tupac and Biggie and all these guys. You be like, hold up.
Coolio was better though, right?
Coolio was a fun rapper. He was a West Coast, but he was a Crip. One of those fun. Yeah. I mean, shit. Look at Ice-T. Ice-T was a damn roller. He was a Crip.
Yeah.
Rolling 60s. He was in a rolling 60s.
What was Ice Cube?
Ice Cube. He was Blood. I think he was Blood. Yeah. Blood or Crip? He was Blood. I think he was Blood.
I feel like I see him with the blue on.
But I feel like I see. I think he was a Crip too. Yeah, I think he was a Crip. I think he was.
Yeah, because Bloods were all East Coast, right? West Coast.
See, the funny thing about,
but they were all the same, and they all flipped.
Yeah, Tookie Williams.
Yeah,
Tookie Williams started. He started the Bloods and Crips. They started out as Crips.
What are you doing?
My shoe came off. But no, that's how you know we talk about some good shit.
Taking your shoes off.
Shoes coming off.
You about to throw a shoe at me is what's gonna happen.
But no, I mean, my thing is the rap stuff. That's just like now. I'm not into the new school rap stuff. Now I do like the beats. Some of the beats are good, but me, man, you give me the stuff in the 70s and the 80s. The 90s, that music, that was really music. Even Tupac back then, he had some good songs. He did some good movies. He was a pretty good actor as well.
Who?
Tupac. He played in some pretty good movies.
Only thing I can think of that's a good rapper and a good movie star: Ice Cube, Ice-T, and DMX.
Yeah, DMX was. But see, and there's another word, DMX. As great as a rapper he was, and his style, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So therefore,
how about Ludacris? Was he a piece of shit?
I never heard anything bad about him.
I never heard nothing about Ludacris.
He's always been fun.
Or Nelly.
Nelly, no, never heard anything bad about him.
No.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
And he's Louisville.
But you got to look at again who these guys run with.
Right.
You never heard about Nelly being in the gang. You didn't hear about Luda being in the gang. His influences with the gang and all that. Nah. But you get those guys like Tupac. I mean, even when Ice Cube was with NWA, hell, Eazy-E was a known drug dealer and gang member.
Yeah.
But Ice Cube and all them and Dr. Dre, them was like, yo, man, lay your guns down and then drugs down and come legit. Finance our record company. And they came out with Ruthless Records. He took his drug money and flipped it into a record label. And then, you know, that's how he got off the streets of selling drugs and stuff. So, yeah, was Eazy-E a piece of shit back then? Yeah, he was. But he...
Well, yeah, I got no problem with finding the light.
Right.
Tupac never found it. Like, Tupac was in the height of,
you know what,
picking fights with
I
people.
put it this way. He was young because he died when he was, 25 years old.
Yeah, he was young.
So when you got to think, and he was in the game as a teenager, 15. He was already in the game for like 10 years. Like I said, rapping behind Digital Underground and all that stuff. And when he finally blew up, and then going from East Coast to the West Coast life, and having starting that beef and all that, his life was cut short. Now, what I think 50-year-old Tupac would have been totally different from 25-year-old Tupac. But life was cut short.
Yeah.
And he lived that life. How they say it? You live by the gun, you die by the gun.
And I didn't realize that, I always thought it was like some kind of weird conspiracy behind it or what was going on with the Tupac death. But then when I hear the story about him sucker punching Orlando Davis in the MGM in front of everybody and stomping him, and then an hour later gets gunned down by Keith Orlando.
He snatched his chain or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat him down, snatched his chain.
And so now we know that that's exactly what happened. But the problem is that nobody would talk. Suge didn't talk. Nobody talked.
No. But it's a code. It's a code. You don't snitch.
So, but like, and I love every documentary. They're like, this is a story about police corruption, about black people. If this was a white person killed, I swear to God, I saw this on 3 of them. If a white person would have been murdered, they would have solved the crime. And I'm like, well, yeah, because white people would talk to the police.
Hell yeah, y'all would tell.
That we would have snitched on each other.
A shooting happened. Pow. Hey, Karen, what did you see? I saw 2 young men wearing. They would give a detailed description. And they will memorize the plate number.
Yeah.
And tell them exactly. They went eastbound on Highway 210. Black folk. Shit. Did you see him? Man, nice. I had my headphones on. I didn't see. I ain't hear or see shit.
I think it's some firecrackers.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. Mookie, you see anything? No, we ain't seen nothing. No, hell no.
But you can't complain. All these folks in these documentaries, you can't complain that the crime didn't get solved when you don't have. It's not the police. So like my thing is if I'm a detective, if I'm a homicide detective in Las Vegas, and I got this rapper who really hasn't done much except talk shit and sucker punch fuckers, and get into a whole bunch of shit in a 3-year time frame because he did a lot of bad shit in 3 years. Yeah. And I've got a whole bunch of people that don't want to talk to the police. And I've got another homicide over here on my desk because it's Las Vegas. They probably got 4 or 5 stacked up. Right. And they got 6 witnesses. All the witnesses are talking, and they got evidence, and they got this and that. I'm not wasting my time on the Tupac case.
But see, here's the thing.
As a detective.
Here's the thing. With black people, you cannot come up to me and ask me what I saw. Did I see who did this in front of a lot of people?
Don't you think that's something that probably should change in that culture?
No.
What?
Because people are afraid that people gonna come back. It's that snitching rule again. Even out in the in the public. That's why when I was out on patrol,
why isn't that in the white culture?
Because y'all don't give a shit. Y'all don't give a
shit.
Bro,
what would it take for y'all not to give a shit?
We not get shot up or our property damaged.
But you get what I'm saying is like I feel like in 2023, now maybe not in the 90s, but Tupac happened because that's a different time. But I think now it's like if you snitch, they're probably going to go to prison. You're probably going to be okay.
Black people are snitch. Black people, we would tell.
Well,
we'll
for
tell.
sure.
But
because
we're not gonna tell it in front of everybody. Yeah. We want it to be. I mean, because there's many cases, man. I shit, I ain't chase after the motherfucker because I knew the whole community knew who the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And all I had to do, knock on the, hey, here's my card.
Yeah.
Reach out to me. Give me a call. Okay. And then next thing you know, JD, you had a message. Okay. I call, hey, this is such and such. Hey, remember you? Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Hey, I got you.
Yeah.
Hang up. You got it.
Right.
Because people, we know if Mookie knew that you told it on
Mookie's
him,
gonna shoot your ass.
Mookie gonna come back and do a drive-by by your house, or he gonna break into your shit when you gone and steal something, or he gonna hurt somebody you love. And that's in the black community. We don't want that.
Right.
We don't want that. You know, you don't want, especially like in a neighborhood, you know, you got.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't happen in
like
your
that.
community because you don't fuck around with stuff like that.
Right.
And you don't live in the inner city. You live
Right.
out in the country, so you gotta worry about it.
But I have family. I have family that do, and I used to go visit them, and I would
Yeah.
always carry my gun with me. You know, I had my shit with me, and I was like, because I ain't trust his neighborhood, but he was well known. He
Yeah.
was well known in the neighborhood, and when officers come up there, he wouldn't open the door.
Yeah.
He'll call me, hey, cuz, y'all looking for a motherfucker? They was just ran by my window. They were fighting out here in the backyard. I said, what? And he give me the information, and then I will pass it on to detectives, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, you don't.
Oh, so Tada Cool Dude says back in the old days, slaves would tell on each other, and it created a no snitching mentality. After years and years of it, so I get that.
Yeah, they wanted the extra piece of chitlin.
Yeah, so I guess like if another slave got caught snitching on slaves, the other slaves would probably beat the shit
And
out
the
of
ones
them.
that snitched, they made them to be slave catchers.
Mhm.
They was the ones that when the slave run off,
Right.
you had the masters would be on the horses, the
Right.
slave catchers would be on foot with the dogs and with the sticks. Some of them was trusted with guns. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, yeah, I couldn't have done that. I done shot me a master. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
I'm bush you in the ass. Oh, we gonna negotiate. Hold up, we're gonna negotiate. Motherfucker, I want some good food. I want to take a bath every now and then in the big house.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know. I'm just saying, but yeah,
I felt like I was really disappointed in the whole because I listened to his music for a long time. I've listened to it in the car with the kids a few times on the way to the skate park. I'll admit it, I'll bump to it.
he got some good shit.
But I'm just like, at the end of it, I think I was just kind of like, man, I'm not surprised this dude got ran down. Like, I mean, he talked a lot of shit. He sucker punched a lot of people. And he wasn't really he wasn't really trying to make friends.
Right. But you know what? It's that old saying, you don't want to meet your heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, me, I in comedy, Richard Pryor and Red Fox was my top two. To me, that was the grandfather and the king of comedy.
Right.
Right. But both of them, even though, when you go into their history, Red Fox was a generous soul. He loved everybody. That's how he died broke, because he gave his money away. He was giving money to people less fortunate and people that needed help. Yeah. And that's why when he died, when the IRS came and took his shit for not paying his taxes, Eddie Murphy them helped him out. When he died, Eddie Murphy them, they put in money and gave him a nice burial, stuff like that. All those guys, Richard Pryor, he was on drugs, but you look into his life, hell, he wasn't given a chance. His mama was a hoe and his daddy was a pimp. His grandmama ran a whole house. He lived in the whole house. All the hoes was his aunties. All the Johns came by. Hey, Uncle John, Uncle Bill, hey, how you doing? Where your Aunt Betty at? Yeah. Keep my dick up. What's that? He was molested by some of those women. Sure. Kissing him and all this. And then even the dudes even messed with him, raped him. He was raped. He talked about all that stuff. So all that stuff contributed in his life. Now, he was funny as hell. And he talked about his life and what he grew up. And that's what was so funny and great about Richard Pryor. But see, Richard Pryor, a lot of people like, damn, he did some fucked up. He did a lot of fucked up shit, drugs and all this and that. But see, again, would I love to meet Richard Pryor? Yes, I would love to have met Richard Pryor. Maybe not then, not the high coked up Richard Pryor, but the Richard Pryor that was on stage telling jokes.
Yeah.
That's the one I would like to meet and see.
Yeah.
But
I feel like a lot of these Hollywood guys are all the same, though.
A lot of them like that. Yeah.
Like Chris Farley,
Hollywood changed. They said Hollywood changed, man. Money will change you. Somebody asked me, would you rather be rich or would you rather be famous? Me, I mean, it goes hand in hand because to get that money, you have to be famous. Even in today's with social media, it's not all about you being funny. It's about how many followers you have.
Right.
Because there are a lot of comedians I know that's out there that ain't funny worth a damn, but they got 2-3 million followers because of videos they've done.
Yeah.
They haven't done nothing on the stage, haven't said shit funny on the stage, but they said they funny on a video, on a skit, and they got 3 million. They got 10 million followers. And then the comedy clubs are book them and they have sellout shows.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, damn, they coming, they did all this. So it's you either hate them or it's like you have to join them. You have to start doing the same thing to get that, because I mean that's just how it is.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to the Philly fights back. This is a Refund the Police article. Believe it or not, tonight's show is brought to you by officerprivacy.com. Listen, don't wait until it's too late. Election season is right around the corner, which means the hate rhetoric towards the police is only going to amplify. And if you get into a shooting or you get into some shiz, your address, where you go to church, where you go to school, it's going to get plastered everywhere. So it's very important that you protect yourself. Wear body armor because that protects you against getting shot. Protect your family by getting rid of your address, where you go to church, where you go to school, where you go to the gym, etc. And that's where officer privacy comes in. I think this is a great gift going into the holiday season for a loved one. It's a simple subscription. Look, a lot of street cops, they're not going to buy this on their own because they're too stubborn. I got this. I got other things to spend my money on. Listen, you need it. I know several cops because I do this podcast, but also in real life outside of the podcast, I meet officers constantly that have just gotten wrapped up in shootings, and they text message and they message us. And here's the funny thing. Since we've been running officerprivacy.com, I've had 2 that have reached out to me and said, it might be too late, but how do I get up on this officerprivacy.com? I just had a critical incident and I think they're going to release all my shit. Don't wait. Don't be that guy. Don't be that dude. Do it now. Do it for your son-in-law. Do it for your daughter-in-law. If you're a cop, do it for your children, man. Make sure that you're protected. Get your address and all that. It doesn't erase you as a human. It doesn't erase your social media, but it erases those addresses, those key phone numbers. It also helps you in a lot of other ways too. Bill collectors have a hard time finding you, etc. So head over to officerprivacy.com/Wolfpack. Sign up today. This is going to give you a free trial. So give it a shot. Go to officerprivacy.com/Wolfpack. All right. We saw what's going on in Philly, right?
Crime.
Yeah, but on a
Crazy
wide
stuff.
scale, like organized crime.
Oh, yeah.
This big retail theft thing. Now they've got the biker gang that just recently happened.
Who they claiming? Who is it? Hell's Angels? Who is it?
No, it's yeah, it's we have Hells Angels around here quite a bit, but up in Philly, I wonder what would happen if the Hells Angels try to roll through Philly. They get their ass whooped.
Yeah. Numbers. The number game. It's the numbers game.
But this is
because Hell's Angels based out of what? West Coast?
Yeah,
Midwest?
but they're moving out on the West Coast because the Mongols were down here. And so they're all like fighting for power. They're really big in Miami right now too. Kind of strange enough, but yeah, we got pagans, warlocks, the whole 9 yards. But these and they're not black motorcycle gangs. They don't even wear cuts, but it's these all races, Asians, whites, and blacks that are doing the wheeling in the big groups. With the 4-wheelers.
Oh, yeah, shit. Have you seen the movie Creed?
No.
Rocky.
I know
movies?
Rocky, but I'm not watching Creed.
Why not? You racist?
Of course.
See, that's bullshit, man. Why? Because Rocky old motherfucking ass ain't fighting no more.
I want to watch the ones where the white guy
dude?
wins, dude.
What?
The white guy beats the black dudes, beats the Russians, beats the Germans.
He got his ass whooped every fight.
I'm just kidding. No, I love it, but it's like Fast and Furious. I stopped at like 5.
But see, like if you watch the movie Creed,
okay,
that he basically the first Creed, he basically trained. He from LA because that's where Apollo Creed was from, and he went to Philadelphia looking for Rocky, and Rocky started training him there in Philadelphia. And when he was like getting ready to fight, he started doing road work, started running, and you had a big scene. It was a long scene of all these guys on 4-wheelers and motorcycles. They doing wheelies. I mean, they standing on the handlebars.
Yeah,
like they were surfing.
I mean,
and all this
DMX
shit.
was all into that.
Yeah, and you'd be like, damn, they doing that on the streets of Philadelphia.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's real big in Philadelphia, though.
Right, it's real big in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
but one article I read kind of equates these guys as like, you remember the cowboy movies where the bad guys that roll into town, shooting and everybody's hiding and they're just lawless. I mean, that's what these motorcycle guys have become. They become the bully of the town. They're riding around, and in this one viral video this week, again, now this is a white dude on a well, I think it looks like a motorcycle, like a dirt bike type deal. And one of the other dudes hits this black woman's car with his motorcycle. So she starts arguing with the dude. So the white guy jumps off his motorcycle and kicks in her back window over top of her kids. Yeah. So she gets out and goes to, yell at this dude that her kids are car, and he fucking sticks a gun in her face. Yeah. This shit makes me so mad. Yeah, here's the video right here. I saw that. There's the 4-wheelers and everything. But Phil,
she backed off, which was smart.
She had to. He was holding the fucking Glock in her face. Yeah. But like, look at the lawlessness here. Just like the absolute not giving a fuck about anybody. I mean, so if you hit my car and he headbutts her with his helmet, what a little bitch. And then he punches her, and now he sticks a gun in her face. I mean, this is a chick. This is a mom. And
she get him back a little bit.
She pushed the bike over.
Yeah. But they ended up catching the dude.
They caught him. And then they're looking for a higher bond on him. But finally, Philadelphia put some balls under them, and they hang on one second. Yeah, there he is right there. What is his name? Cody something, like 26 years old. What's his name? Deadleg.
Cody Huron.
Yeah,
26, charged with multiple counts of aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and possession of an instrument of crime.
Everybody should post this picture out on the social media webs. I mean, this is the
but what was
stereotypical coward.
What was the reason?
One of the dudes on the 4-wheelers hit her car. And so she was arguing with that dude. And this guy comes up from behind and kicks in her back windshield over her kids. And again, it's just this thug mentality, this gang mentality.
Then let me ask you this. If she would have came out with a gun and popped one in his ass,
I would have saluted her. I would have said, good for her. I think she would have been justified. You're surrounded.
Yeah, because you jumped on my one and busted coming through, and I have kids in there.
Yeah.
Now they're probably been like, well, she fired and could have endangered the kids as well.
I don't think so. I think the courts are past all that. I think the courts are past all that. I don't think the courts. I don't think juries. I think juries are more afraid of being racist and making a bad call on racism than anything else.
Well, see, the thing about this, I didn't even know he was white that did it. Because he had the helmet on.
Yeah.
I didn't, I just knew it was a fucked up piece of shit that did what he did. I only like
to bring up that he's white because when I say thug, I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about anybody that acts in this kind of behavior is a fucking thug, and that this guy is a thug and he's a piece of shit, and you should put his picture all over the interwebs because anyone that would bully a woman like this in a car while you're surrounded by a bunch of dudes, B, smash in the back windshield. What could possibly she say that would deserve that kind of nonsense? And then B, headbutts her and then goes on to pull a gun on her. I mean, what a cowardly piece. Like, this guy right here is the epitome of garbage, in my opinion. But I'm glad to see that Philadelphia is because Philly was really high into this whole community policing and this whole soft on crime shit. Like, they were very outspoken with it during the political season, and now that's over. Philadelphia wants to be taken back. There's people in the streets that are calling for it. This is an article coming from Fox News, which is pretty biased, but you know what? Nobody else, CNN didn't cover this story. CNN didn't cover the story of the lawless of these motorcycle gangs. So it says, over the past decade, most of America's largest cities have engaged in a grand experiment to ease policing in soft criminal justice. Now the results are in, and it has been deadly and abject failure. The city of Philadelphia, birthplace of America, today is home to hordes of looters storming Lululemons and Lululemons and Apple stores. And what does George Soros-backed district attorney and friend of the criminal class, Larry Krasner, have to say about it? Well, he told the reporters of those arrested, 50 people were arrested during those looting things. And he says, we'll look carefully to see whether this is a one-off situation and they're fundamentally law-abiding people or not. No. If you are one of 50 people that run into a building and steal things out of it, you should all be charged equally. Whether it was your first time doing it or you're a career criminal. The crime's the crime.
Right. You're right.
Everybody should be charged the same. And now we have the viral video of the motorcycle gang in which a thug stomps in the back windshield of a woman's car. Now here's Fox News. I didn't even know that Fox News put that in there. Now Fox News won't put thug in there if it's a black person because they don't want to call a black person a thug because that's racist. Yeah, but because he's white, they'll put thug in there, which is funny.
Hello. Correct me if I'm wrong, but again, I'm not a
Right,
politician. I'm not really
you
into
don't watch
politics
much news.
and stuff.
Neither do I.
And they do say you have the right wing
Yeah.
news and the left wing.
Yeah, Fox
is more right wing, right? So why would they? I mean, you would think that they would call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? They would call, if it's black, you would hear them say more.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think 10 years ago they would have. Maybe 6 years ago they would have. Not now. I think everybody's like they can't say crackhead anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't say crackhead anymore.
You
can't even say whore
You know what?
anymore.
It's funny. I think I sent you a video. I don't know if I sent it to you, but do you ever watch the Boondocks?
Oh yeah,
man,
so funny, dude.
They had this one clip that I saw the other day. I laughed my ass off. They had CeeLo Green. You remember CeeLo Green? Yeah. Fuck you. CeeLo Green played this reverend, and basically, Pops. Granddad was talking to Riley them, and and Riley was calling people faggots. He was like, "You can't say that. Don't you ever say that again," like that. And Riley said, "Why, Granddad?" He said, "That's what they are." He said, "But you can't say that. You'll get in trouble." And ring the doorbell, and here come the Reverend. Hey, he said, "Man, let me tell you." He said, "These jokers out here." And all these faggots everywhere. And Riley said, "See, Granddad, he gets it." He said, "You can't call him that." He said, "Why not?" He said, "The media, the media, they say it." He said, they won't let you say it. You right. He said, "But they'll let you say nigga. You can say nigga all day long. They won't bleep it out. Watch. Nigga. And he said, faggot. And they were bleeping out faggot. It was funny. And then he started mixing it up. Nigga, faggot. And they kept beeping out faggot, but let nigga go. And he said, "See, I told you." That shit is hilarious. It's the Boondocks, man.
The Boondocks is always funny.
And a lot of people watch it and be like, you know what? The Boondocks would be canceled if it was still on today. But them and the Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, all those animation, they are for adults. But it's humor. It is so funny. King of the Hill, all them jokers are so funny, man. And they be on dead on with it.
Well, I like the way that I think this is maybe like the sheriff is putting this is we have the viral video of the motorcycle gang in which a thug stomps in the back of the windshield of a woman's car with the kids in the back seat and then pulls a gun on the outraged driver. These rolling gangs in of themselves are a menace to the city of brotherly love. Every Philadelphian who dines at a sidewalk cafe has seen and heard this. It begins as a low rumbling, and in moments, the war of 40 motorcycle engines thunders at impossible decibel levels that shake the tabletop, the menacing gang peering on their bikes. It is every sense equivalent to outlaws riding into town, guns a-blazing in a Western film. And I enjoyed that article. I don't typically do a lot of Fox News articles on here or CNN or anything like that. I try to go through all of them. But, this whole recent culture where people just think that they can do whatever they kind of fucking want is really getting aggravating. I was pumping gas the other day and this dude locked eyes with me playing the worst mumble rap garbage. You know, the kid was probably fucking 17 or 18, real skinny dreadlock kid, you know. And he's staring at me with this terrible music. And he's just, and I'm just like, you know, trying to go about my business. Every time I look up, he's just still sitting there because he wants me to say something about his stupid fucking music. So he can probably whip out a gun or something dumb. But, you know, like, what is this whole sense of I can do whatever the fuck I want? Nobody can stop me.
Because
like it's unkind. It's not nice. It's a bullying mentality. And these motorcycle guys, they're the epitome of that.
Well, see, one reason is the young kids today, they really don't fear the police because of incidents that have happened, and we're in that age of suing. I'm gonna sue and get plenty of money, you know. So I'm gonna act like an asshole. Yeah. I'm gonna read a little bit what I can. I'm gonna Google the minimum laws of you can't search me, you can't do this and do that. You know, I don't have to comply if it's illegal, if it's an unlawful order. I don't have to comply and everything. So if you whoop my ass, I'll lick my wounds, but I'm about to break off with a couple of $1 million. That's what it is. That's how it is. Now it goes both ways. Now I've seen a video. We ain't gonna talk about it on this show, but the next show we got, I think I sent it to you. It was a guy. He was, I guess, people was around in his neighborhood. He was at his sister's house, and he got out the car, and his keys locked up in there. So he had a thing. He was trying to get out.
I saw that. I wanted to do some more research on it. Now, the video, the cops come over there and they ask him his name, they ask him what he's doing. Now, vehicle theft is up like, you know, it's up like, I think it's like 4,000% around the country right now. Oh yeah, like as a whole, like people are saying country. But here's the thing: there's 3 cops there, 3 older cops. And all you're seeing on TikTok is this one side that the cops being an asshole. I guarantee you the first thing they did was ran that plate, and that plate came back to some old man or old woman or somebody else. I guarantee that they were like,
let's see, here's the thing. If they have body cameras, I'm interested in seeing the body cameras. But there was a lot of people, even when they showed the other footage where he was at his sister's house, he went across the street because he started backing up and they was chasing him, and they had him there. Everybody you could hear them clearly telling the officers, that's his vehicle. That was his car. He locked his keys.
Now, how about this?
And he was telling me, and the officer was like, I don't give a shit.
How about this? That car comes back to warrants.
What you mean? It's not stolen. It's his. So what you talking about? The owner?
You know that if you're a cop and you I pulled over a dude for a stolen car, and I told him it was a registration violation. He was like, "No, my tags are good. My tags are good. I'm leaving." I'm like, "You're not free to leave." I didn't want to tell him that the car was stolen, because I wanted to make sure I had backup.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm like, "No, your tags are expired." And he's like, "No, my tags ain't expired. I'm leaving. No, I know for a fact my tags are expired. These aren't expired." And I was like, "No, you can't leave." And he was like, "No." And then somebody, you know, this was over. This was by the MLK statue. Those little apartments right there by Weebob's. And all of a sudden, the people start, you know, Weebob's and everything, whatever that convenience store is right there out front. Everybody starts coming over because this guy's wiling out on me. And then he and I get into a fight because I'm like, "Put your hands behind your back." He's like, "No, I'm not doing it." Well, he goes, you know, and he's screaming, "Oh, this for a registration violation. Oh, this for a registration violation. Oh, call my mama. Call my lawyer." And everybody's like, "No, that ain't right. That's just Raleigh police. That's just Raleigh police doing Raleigh police shit." You know, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Hey, motherfuckers, the car's stolen. He knows it's stolen.
Right.
Shut the fuck up about the registration."
Right.
I made the registration thing all up anyway. You know, but I'm not going to do that because I'm fighting a dude and then a whole bunch of other cops come. And of course, we put the brakes on him. You know, luckily this was before everything was just uploaded to social media right away. But, you know, I wanted to do my research on that because this could have either been they know that this guy's got warrants and they want to make sure that it's him. They don't want to give it up that he's got warrants, you know, there's no, for me, I would say there's no way 3 cops went there and nobody just ran that fucking tag unless they needed to know who that guy was because they think he has warrants or they know who he is and they're just trying to verify who he is.
But you know what?
And they're trying to play it cool so he doesn't run.
A lot of people ask me, Tansey, Jay, have you had to shoot a motherfucker? Have you had to pull out your gun? Have you had to tase somebody? Have you ever? I mean, how did you deal with situations?
Yeah.
I always went in it with, I'm not gonna say comedy, but I went in it with it. I was cautious, I'm being safe, but I go into it. You have to go in it, lead with tact. You have to have tact.
Yeah.
There was a.
But we didn't see that. We didn't even see the first 5 minutes.
Right.
So the cop might have came in it with tact.
Might have, might not. But see, that's the thing. When you go in, you see him. Hey, what's up, man? You need some help? What's going on? I locked my keys in the car. This your vehicle? Yes, sir. Okay. I got a call. I mean, hell, we could lie. You could lie. I got a call that somebody was breaking into a vehicle. No, this is my car.
Well, it sounded like what they were doing.
Well, run the tag.
Yeah.
And then match up. Hey, what's your name?
But they did. And that's what I'm saying, because I think they ran the tag and it didn't come back to him.
See, like you said, that's why I didn't want to really talk about it.
Right, that's what I was saying. That's why I was like, I want to see them more, because it looks to me
you got
there's no way that those 3 cops, not one of them, because you don't give a fuck. Like, I could give 2 fucks,
but
there is no way I would even talk to that dude without running that plate first.
But then again,
why would you?
But see, out of those 3 officers, that contact officer probably should have asked them to cover the cover.
I bet you
they probably didn't.
I bet you the contact officer ran that plate. It probably came back. Now, that all those plates come back to some girl.
Now you assuming it come back to a girl.
90%. I said you know how it goes. Though.
Assuming.
You know how it goes.
We can't assume.
You know how it goes.
When we assume, we make an ass out of ourselves.
Yeah.
But no, from the video footage that I saw, my first impressions was he don't like the police anyway.
Right.
He don't, talk to him. He don't engage. He don't call the police.
Right.
Because hell, we had remember
we
exactly. And somebody in the comments even said it. They said, "Oh shit, that cop about to get it because look at the shirt he's wearing."
And that's why I thought when I saw the video, I was like, "There's no way." Now, if the cop is that stupid, I'll fucking call him out all day.
Right.
But like, I've got to think there's no way that cop's like, "Oh, a dude with a Black Lives Matter shirt on, are surrounded by a whole bunch of other people trying to break into a car." No way I'm starting that shit unless I know for a fact.
Here's my other thing. If you was a criminal and you was gonna steal a car, 3 officers, I ain't talking about they on their way to your monkey ass.
Okay.
They are out and they standing 5, 6 feet from you. Are you gonna continue to still try to break into the damn
so let me
car?
go with this. You run that plate and it comes back to a dude that has a warrant.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go, "Hey, are you Jesse blah, 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 blah? You got a warrant for your arrest," knowing that he's going to take off. He's a flight risk already. No. Especially if you read his whole thing, because that's what it looked like to me. That they were like, "Hey, man, is this you on here or not? What's your ID? Who are you?"
You ain't hearing what I'm saying. He continued while he was talking shit to the officer, the contact officer. The officer was asking, "I ain't got to tell you nothing. I ain't got to."
I don't think the cops thought it was stolen.
He was still. I don't think they did too.
I think they figured he had a warrant.
He was still. See, and that's, to be honest. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Good. Yeah.
Officers, we do that shit
all the time.
Motherfucker, I don't know him, but remember how they used to always make us want to do a field FIR? Oh, go out there and field report.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they ran that plate and that plate came back to somebody with a warrant, or if somebody got a warrant from that car, doesn't mean they have to own it. It means that they were driving it when they had it, and they don't know that dude's the dude or not. You've got to have an ID card.
But here's the thing, though: the vehicle was parked. It was on the side of the road. It wasn't in motion. They didn't see the vehicle in motion. So that shit would have got thrown out in court. If that dude, if they would have got, I want to know what really went on, because you got to think about it. The vehicle was parked on the side of the road. So yeah, he was slim jimming it. And if
you're slim jimming a car and that car doesn't come back to your name, that's reasonable suspicion.
Unless, yeah. Well, then again, I don't know. What if I loan you my car and that shit happens? And but if they contact the register owner of that car, say, "Hey, do you own a such and such and such?" "Yes, sir." "Do you have your car with you, or do you know where your car is at right now?" "No, my nephew got it."
Right.
Okay. All right. That explains why he got it.
But no cop's going to go through all that. You're going to run that tag and you're going to go.
That's the problem. That's the problem That's the problem. A lot of officers they cut corners. I've cut corners before.
Yeah.
But a lot of
I mean, how
officers
much easier is it to just be like, yo, let me see your ID real quick?
Yeah, but again, we in that time where motherfuckers think they know their rights. They know
Right.
the right. They really don't know. This is shit they learning off of YouTube videos and stuff. People, no, these what you call those people? Those I don't have to show you shit, right? I don't have to show you nothing. I have the right to video here on this property.
That video to me just screamed that those cops had other intentions and probably didn't give a fuck about the stolen car. If they didn't, they are the world's dumbest cops. But it really looked like to me that they were like, this dude's got warrants. And all we need to do is identify him and then lock him up.
But see, here's the thing.
And you know how cops get when you know somebody's going to run? It's like you lose focus and you're trying to keep them from running. And
that's
you're
the
like,
funny thing. He didn't start backing away running until they wanted to put him in handcuffs. He said, oh, no, don't touch me. You ain't got to touch me. He started backing up.
Well,
that's
what's
when
in
they
it for him not
got
to give that idea?
Again, because
he's got warrants.
What's going on in the world today? The relationship between law enforcement and
but
citizens.
that's been created from the citizens, just like that guy.
And it's also been created by bad apple police officers. So good officers suffer from that shit.
Yeah, but it's really hard to make bad apple police officers in big cities. There's too many college kids, too many kids.
Hold up, say that again.
It's really hard to get bad apple cops in big cities.
How you talking about bust them or you
no,
talking about
it's hard. It's hard to be a bad apple cop in a big city police department.
Shit. You ever seen the movie Serpico?
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's a movie.
Okay. But that's
my thing. It's really it's hard. Okay, so like let's say
Roots was a movie too, but it talked about slavery. And it
slavery
was true.
wasn't real.
You know what I'm saying?
We're rewriting history.
I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
but what I'm saying is in the Southeast District where you and I worked,
right,
where it's the only place that cops could even, be confused of being racist because we deal with 100% black people all the time. Like
Blacks and Hispanic. That was the population.
100%. So, but
shit,
like
I was look.
How many dudes?
You think that's something? I was the only black guy on my squad.
Right.
F squad. I was the only black guy on my squad.
Only one black guy on my squad.
And then there was one squad, Sergeant Brown squad. He was the soul. I called him the Soul Patrol. I was mad because all of them was
started
black,
out
except they had one white guy.
I was gonna say because mine was all
cool.
white for a while. But my thing is that I can't imagine being a bad apple in the Southeast District. You would have gotten your ass called out real fucking quick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. There's too many people that aren't going to let you be a bad apple.
Right.
Like if you went into the Raleigh Police Department and said, I'm a racist, or made hints that you're racist, they would send your ass to the North District so fucking fast.
You would be on the carpet fast.
Yeah.
We
tolerated.
I mean, there was one guy, I can't even think of his name, but I knew he was racist. I mean, his stops, I used to hate checking in. I checked in with him a couple of times, and how he talked to the people.
You talking about St. Clair?
I can't think of his
country
name.
dude, the old dude from Johnson County?
No.
He's the only one that I ever was like.
I can't think of his name, but I know that Juggle, you sit there, you like, I know he just didn't say that. And then he said it to a black man. The black man looked at me. I'm like, and I guess the black man looking at me like, oh, this shit new to you too? Or you're just as shocked as I am that he would say that?
How long did he last?
Oh, it didn't last long. His ass ended up getting fired because he was getting complaints every week.
Exactly.
Almost every shift.
That's what I'm saying. Like bad apples don't really make it in big city police departments anymore.
I mean,
they get rid of that shit really, really fucking fast. The majority of your cops are college students who are super ideological. They've been brainwashed by big universities. They come out with this open-handed kindness, vegetarians and, the like.
But I don't know. That's one thing we need to do. We need to find an officer that's active,
a bad cop,
or a retired officer, or a former officer from a big city, somebody from like Philadelphia or whatever. We need to bring them on the show and ask them that type of question. Ask them, the population. Because Raleigh, I came from a small department. Well, actually, I came from I was in Virginia.
Yeah.
Richmond City Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
It was the largest sheriff's office in the state of Virginia. And yeah, we had, but we didn't have patrol duties. We was basically court and the jails.
Sure.
So when I came home to North Carolina, I started out small police department in Clayton.
Yeah.
Little, I mean, come on.
But I mean, little police department's a little bit easier for corruption to fall in because there's not as many people to call you out for. But in a big city police officer where it's almost mandatory, where the competition to be a cop there is so high, you got to have college, you got to have this, you got to have that.
Yeah. It gets overlooked because of the numbers, though. Like you said, a small department, it's easier to call the corruption out because it's a small number. I mean, shit. When I was in Clayton, I was the only male black officer.
Sure.
The 3 years I was at Clayton. Yeah. Well, towards the end, another brother came on. He was with the sheriff's office. He came over for us. And then after I left, he didn't last long. He took his ass back to the sheriff's department. Yeah. And then there was one black female.
Well, I think smaller departments are more susceptible to corruption than big departments because the small ones keep shit in house and they know who they're hiring because they're hiring from within their town. Nepotism, the whole 9 yards. In the big city, you don't know who you're fucking hiring. You're just hiring college students mainly.
Yeah, but you also too with a small department.
There's no way you could steal something from a car in Raleigh and get away with it.
As an officer?
Yeah. If another cop saw you do it, you'd be fucked. And if you were accused of doing it, Raleigh Police Department would have treated you guilty until you were proven innocent. If someone were to find out there was a hint of racism while you're in the Raleigh Police Department, they would have shipped your ass out in a heartbeat.
You know why? Because it's just like with sports, just like with athletes, people want your spot.
Yeah.
Let's take you and I, for instance. Like I'll take me, for instance. I'm doing comedy. Yeah. I'm doing movies. I was doing all that while I was an officer.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the people that I hung around or that I was learning the craft was well-established A-list celebrities, stars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for some reason, the police department thought, why I getting all this at? When I got my Mercedes, I got a Mercedes? What are he doing to get all the Mercedes? They ain't looking at the off-duty work I was doing. They didn't, I went through the legal stuff to, let them know I was doing comedy and all that stuff. And I was getting paid for it, doing this and that. But they frowned upon that. They look, he doing something corrupt. They look at my films. And it was, my films, a couple of films I did was about police stuff.
Right.
I played a detective. I played a police officer. Oh, he's using police officer stuff.
Yeah.
Do you see a Raleigh police badge? No. Now, I did get permission. They try to get me because I went through what I thought was the proper channels to.
Yeah, but that was all just because the police department doesn't want anybody. They don't want you doing anything that they could be considered or held liable to anyway.
But they weren't held liable.
I know, but they have the same.
They thought I was corrupt and was doing something wrong, and I'm sitting there thinking, motherfuckers, you got guys that's out here fucking women on duty. Oh, yeah. You got guys like what was the dude that was had a prostitute that stole his damn MCT when he was out there training and all that. You got stuff like that, but you worried about me trying to shoot a movie. Yeah, a great film about police work and stuff. And I went through the proper channels in writing and everything that I thought was right. I went to my captain of that district, and he actually, I ain't gonna say he ate the bullet for me, but he was like, "Don't worry about it, White. I got you."
Yeah, but
blah, blah, blah.
Like I think what you're trying to say is that like everybody's gunning for your job and they want your position. They pretty much wanted you. That. Yeah. They wanted you out because somebody wants to be a school resource officer. Of course, everybody wants that job, but
it wasn't even about being a school resource officer. It was about being a person that was doing other things other than law enforcement, I believe, or anything that didn't benefit
the police department.
Yeah,
no, I mean,
see what I'm saying? Now I bet if I was,
but that's what I'm saying. But my whole point of it was that it's too hard to, it's too hard to blame things on bad apple cops because I don't think in the last 25 years it has been bad apple cops that's causing any of the problems. I think what it is that we're giving 100% to the bad apples of society, and they're the only ones that have a voice. Nobody gives a shit about the victims anymore. Everybody, it's only about the person. It's only about this dude that's trying to get into that truck, that has the voice, and it's only his side of the story that's going to get told. And listen, when the whole story comes out and we find out that they did run the tag and the dude did have warrants, or whatever it is that I think probably happened, or that the car belonged to some old lady, and we find out the whole story, they won't report on the whole story because they'll be like, oh well, that's unfortunate.
I need to find out
but
where was that at? What did that? What I gotta find out.
I mean, let's see if I'm wrong. Like either I'm wrong or those are like really bad cops, and I'll fucking put my foot in my mouth and I'll say those are really
if your
bad.
ass wrong,
cops.
you gonna drink. I'm gonna bring a red stripe Jamaican beer, and your ass got to drink one. I'm gonna bring a 6-pack. You got to drink one.
Listen, I always have fun. Real quick, one feel good story. This made national news, but then I did some more research into it, and it was nothing. The Wally, the emotional support alligator, went to see the Phillies, and it went viral. They kicked him out of the stadium. I think the article that I read really was more like salacious than anything. What really happened was this guy does have a 6-foot emotional support, 55-pound alligator that he carries on a harness, and he takes it to shows and everything. And the Phillies baseball club team wanted to meet the alligator. So they asked him to bring the alligator there. He brought it there. They didn't run it by the staff. The staff was like, yo, you can't bring an alligator in here. He was like, no big deal. I'm leaving. On the way out, people got some pictures, and that was the end of it. But we had tweets from some guy named Howard Eskin. I don't know who he is. He's a blue checkmark dude. Are you kidding me? A Phillies fan tried to come into the game tonight with what they said was a service animal, and it was an alligator. Oh, and no, people are like, this service animal stuff's gone too far. No, that wasn't what happened. The guy didn't try to get into a game with his emotional support alligator. He went because he was invited, and he says, this is his quote, the guy who owns that. We were not there to go to the ball game, said Henny at 70 years old. We were there to meet the players, and that's what we went there for, and we were invited. I didn't just show up. To understand the backstory, you need to know, as Wally's myriad of local admirers and online fans do, just how beloved this 8-year-old alligator is already. He has 27,000 fans on Instagram and 114,000 followers on TikTok. And so one of these Philly guys invited him to bring the damn gator in to meet the players and pose for photos. So, it's just because that the people at the stadium didn't quite know what was going on. So again, again, really great news, but you have to read all the way to the bottom to find out that nobody got kicked out of the fucking game for an emotional support alligator. Okay.
But who the fuck want emotional? Yeah, everybody gonna be emotional in that.
Yeah, right.
They're gonna be scared. It's an alligator.
That's just part of the joke. Like the guy doesn't really, you know what I mean? It's not. But he's got an alligator on a fucking harness. It's like hilarious. Man, look, good for him.
Did you see? They said he had him dressed up. He was a usher in a wedding.
Yeah.
Had him on a leash. Had him dressed up in a tux. And
that's what he does. It's it's an alligator in Philadelphia.
But it's like
pretty
this.
Cool.
It's like this. You know what type of animal he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a shit. People have dogs. Like you have a dog, right? And when I look at the dog, I don't ask you no dumbass question like, do he bite? He got teeth. Yeah, he bite, bites, Yeah. But is he friendly? Is he, because dogs, I've been around dogs all my life. Dogs can be wagging a tail and still bite your ass.
My dog's a bitch, dude.
But an alligator? Come on, man. Have you ever seen those shows where the guy they doing those little exhibits or whatever, and the alligator got his mouth and they sticking their head in there and all that? Yeah, that one dude did that shit in a sweat. One little drop of sweat hit his tongue, and that mother closed his mouth
on his head.
Yeah, no, I ain't messing with it. It's like when I see those videos of them dudes with bears. They got a bear, a tiger, and a lion. All three of them live together. They was abandoned and hurt, and he raised them from cubs on up.
Yeah.
Oh, and they know. Yeah. So alligator.
Yeah. No, I don't mess around with it. Listen, I love it when those people get
make some boots out of them.
Tomorrow, True Crime Tuesday, we got a special guest on the 26th and 27th. We will be down at Jacksonville, Florida. We'll be in Ponte Vedra Beach at the Island Girl Cigar Bar with Ken Shamrock before the Valor fight. So if you want to come down to Florida, Ponte Vedra, it's a little meetup, Ponte Vedra, Florida.
Did you tell him what I said?
What?
I want to slap shit out of him.
No, I didn't say that.
Should have told him.
No, I'm a bitch.
You should say, hey man, my black co-host,
That dude.
You could have boosted up my stat. He about 6'5". He looked like John Jones of MMA. John Jones, the champion. He looks about like him. He's big.
John Jones hilarious. But yeah, no, that's good. It's gonna be a fun meetup. And then on November 11th, you and I have our show, and I will post a link in the Instagram storyboard tonight.
Tickets go on
for you can get the tickets if you want to come on the 11th in North Carolina, Clayton, North Carolina of this month.
Yeah.
No,
tickets on sale.
Oh, tickets are on sale this month
11th,
right now.
yeah, so
but it's
30
for
days.
November 11th.
Right. Give everybody 30 days.
30 days. Yep. And then on the 12th, Jay and I are opening up for Benny Montez in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Also, if on the 11th, if you got a promo code, it's Uncuffed.
Oh,
if they use the promo Uncuffed, you save a few dollars on the show.
Okay,
for the
I didn't
show.
know
So,
that. You got deals
Uncuffed.
everywhere, dog.
Yep.
We got real quick, Deadleg. Who's our guest tomorrow?
I don't know who she has. I just remembered she has someone scheduled. One of her friends. Former police officer.
Some true crimes thing.
Yep.
Yeah, Jay Rama. Yeah. All right, guys. Listen, thanks for tuning in. Go follow Uncuffed, Failure to Stop Uncuffed on Instagram. Leave us a 5-star rating and review if you haven't already. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And if you want to give somebody a shout out, go to Uncuffed. Leave Jay Derrell a message on Uncuffed who you want to shout out and why. We'll shout them out next week on Monday. Until tomorrow for True Crime Tuesday, this is Eric Tansey and Jay Derrell White. Guns up, giddy up.